Hi, welcome to RCSP Florida. I've been using the Sony FE 200 to 600mm f5.6 to 6.3 G OSS lens for over a month now. So how good is the 200 to 600mm for wildlife photography? Let me show you some photos and you decide. Forgive the shaky camera here. I'm standing on a slope and it's very windy, as you can see. I'm shooting handheld at about 500mm and it is very hard to hold the lens still in the wind with a lens hood attached. The lens focused great, however, considering what I had to work with. I had to take a picture whenever the wind blew the grass out of the way. That meant the lens had very little time to focus, but it did quite well. See if you can find the 4 baby gators before I point them out. Number 4 is hard to see, it's a bit out of focus because of the depth of field. By the way, whenever you see a mama gator with babies, stay further away than normal. A mother with babies can be very dangerous, especially one this size. I am very pleased with this lens. The autofocus is not quite as fast as the Sony FE 100 to 400mm GM lens, but it is just as accurate in my opinion. In the past, I always felt that my photos were good, but not quite as good as those photographers that could afford a 600mm f4 prime lens for around $13,000 new or more. Today I think my photos are just about as good, even though I'm working at a disadvantage with the f6.3 at 600mm. Instead of f4 on the prime lens. I lose some of the bokeh that an f4 lens can create, but the bokeh on this lens is still pretty good. The zoom on this lens is fantastic, 90 degrees of rotation, and you are from 200 to 600 or vice versa. I don't have to make 2 revolutions to get from one end of the lens to the other. It makes video a little more challenging if you zoom, but I rarely zoom in my videos. You can still do it, but you have to go very slowly since it changes rapidly. This is a small price to pay since I need to be able to zoom quickly to capture a lot of the critters I photograph. I was going to do a comparison video of the 100 to 400mm GM and the 200 to 600mm G, but I'm not sure I will. I have videos out on both lenses, and I'm not sure that with the video compression used on YouTube videos, you would be able to tell the difference. You need to watch this video on a large 4K monitor to be able to see how good this lens really is. I have an iPhone 8, which is pretty good, but you can't really tell. On a good 24 to 27 inch HD or 4K monitor, preferably 4K, you can see every feather in great detail. So if you want to see how good this lens really is, watch this video on your high-res laptop or desktop monitor. In conclusion, I recommend this lens over the Sony 100 to 400mm GM lens for wildlife photography. You gain the extra 200mm, and that makes a big difference if you are shooting the Sony a7 III. I shoot the Sony a7R III, and the 41 megapixels makes a huge difference, and using the 200 to 600mm allows me to stay in full frame mode and make more often, and eliminates the need in many cases of going to APS-C crop mode, or as Sony calls it, Super 35 mode. This allows me a lot more options in post, such as increasing the pixel count for large prints. The more you have to crop the image, the less pixel count you can have without making it look fake. With a full frame or very little crop, I can increase the pixel count in Photoshop to between 400 to 500 pixels per inch, which will give you a lot of resolution for larger prints. It also allows me to crop using Premiere Pro and zoom in tight on the subjects like I did in this video and still maintain good resolution. Now the bad side of that. The images get very, very large. Some of the photos you just saw were over 300 megabytes per image. The raw files for the Sony a7R III are around 60 to 75 megabytes each, so it more than quadrupled the file size by increasing the pixel count. For most applications, this is not really necessary, and you can still zoom in and retain good resolution if you're using it for video. As a note, the images in my videos are all in PNG format and not JPEG, which is why the size is so large. JPEGs would not be near that large. You have to be a little more careful with the APS-C crop mode photos because they are only 18 megapixels instead of 41, so you can't increase the pixel count near as much as you did with the 41 megapixels. All of those megapixels eats up memory and storage, and the speed of your computer has to be pretty fast to edit in Premiere Pro or any other software for that matter. When I switched to 4K video, my computer was nowhere near fast enough and just threw up, and it took forever to edit my video, and it was very frustrating. I eventually had to upgrade my computer to make my life easier. That all costs money, so if you are not prepared to do that, then I would shoot in HD. That being said, if you ever shoot in 4K and see what you can do in post, it is hard to go back to shooting HD. I think if you buy this lens for wildlife photography / videography, you will not be disappointed. Since I already own the A7R III, I chose to buy this lens instead of buying the new A7R IV body. It has less noise and low light, and I think the photos are about the same, although the A7R IV photos are 20 megapixels larger, and you can theoretically zoom in even more. If you own the A7 III, it would be a no-brainer to me to buy this lens instead of upgrading your camera body. That is, unless you have money to go out and buy both, which I did not. I hope this helps you make a decision on what to buy if you are a bird or wildlife photographer / videographer. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made, and I'm happy as a lark with this lens. The only thing that might make it a little bit better is putting it on the Sony A9 or A9 II. Unfortunately, I can't afford to do that either. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right corner of your screen, right down there. I would appreciate that. If you want to be notified whenever I post a new video, please hit the bell button. Thanks for watching, and get out there and shoot. It's the only way you're going to learn and get better. And besides, it's a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.